કે એ મજબૂરી છે અમારી, અમારા કરમ છે।
શિયાળામાં ઠંડી પડે તો ઠંડીનું આમાં બાર બતા લઈને પડ્યું રહેવું પડે।
અમારા બાપ દાદાને ગઢિયા છે, જેવા એ કામ કરે છે એવું અમે કરે છે, અમારે કોઈ ભણતર આવતું નથી।
આપણા માથે કષ્ટ માંડી હોય એ આપણે કષ્ટ ભોગવવાની।
મરી જાય ને તો અગ્નિ સંસ્કારમાં આખું શરીર કે બળી જાય, પણ એટલા પગ રહ્યા ને એ કે ના બળે હાથ। અને આ સમુદ્ર છે એમાં અમારી પેઢીના પેઢી સચવાઈ રહી છે। રણ છે એ સારું છે અમારા માટે।
This is the story of salt. So commonplace that we take it for granted. But in every grain of salt is ingrained an extraordinary story. The story of the Agariyas, the salt farmers of Gujarat, who struggle 8 months every year to eke out a living.
કે અમારા વડવાના વડવાએ પહેલા બનાવ્યા હતા, પછી જે અમારા સસરા અને સાસુ હતા એ બનાવતા આવ્યા, એ રીતે અમે આ ધંધો કરતા આવ્યા, બીજો કોઈ ધંધો જ નહોતો આના સિવાય।
The story of super specialist scientists at the Central Salt and Marine Chemicals Research Institute in Bhavnagar, the only institute working exclusively on salt and salt technologies in the country.
We are trying our best to improve the living standards of these people while working at the salts. We work in the labs, they work in the field.
On the coast of Gujarat lies the little run of Kutch. 5,000 square kilometers of a seasonal desert. The run is a saline wilderness. Nearly 76% of the nation's salt comes from here. No landmarks, no roads, just trails crisscrossing and dust.
पहले तो कहते थे कि यहाँ समुंदर थे, पूरा सुरेंद्रनगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट से धीरे धीरे यहाँ का लेवल है वो रण का मिट्टी से ऊपर आता गया।
Centuries ago, the land rose and the sea retreated. The Agariyas made salt farming their way of life. It's hard to believe that in the month of June, this very desert will turn into a wetland submerged by the Arabian Sea. But now, it's March. After a long drive in the land of the wild ass, we reach a salt pan. Agariyas have been producing salt for nearly 700 years. Their little makeshift shacks lie kilometers away from each other. For the salt farmers, this is home and livelihood for 8 months each year. The season of salt farming begins after monsoon in October. As the water starts receding, the Agariyas move in.
ત્યારે ભાત લીધું હોય હારે, પાણી પીવાનું હારે લીધું હોય, અને એવા ઊંચા ખોરા બધા ખોઈ અને પાણીમાં ગારો ખૂંદતા ખૂંદતા હાલી પગે ચાલીને આવવાનું।
They arrive in knee-deep water. The cycle begins with restoring the well. 40 feet below this crust is the salty water, many times saltier than the sea. Salt in the run is made from the underground brine.
આવીને પછી આવે કુઈ ગારવાનું ચાલુ કરી છે। 20 ફૂટના કુવા ગારે અહીંયા મોટર મૂકે, પછી એના 30 ફૂટ લાઈન નાખે, કુલ 45 ફૂટથી 50 ફૂટનું તાણ હોય અમારે। એ તો ભાગ ઉપર પહેલી બાર તો જૂની આપણે કુઈ હે એમાં પાણી મિલતા હે જો બગડી જાય તો આપણે નસીબ તો બીજી ગાડી પડે ને એવું નહીં રણમાં એક જ ઠેકા પાણી નક્કી જ નહીં હોતું પાણી હોય અહીંયા નહીં હોતું ને હોય અહીંયા હોય હે
Each year, the well is readied and the motor is installed. Pipes are laid down. The salt pans also need work. The floor is stamped with bare feet to make it compact. This ensures that salt water will not seep into the soil. This laborious job has to be done repeatedly. With the pans ready, the salty water is pumped in. Under the hot sun, evaporation begins.
આ સુરત અત્યારે અમારા માટે ભગવાન સુરત મીઠું પકવે એ પ્રકાશ હોય તો જ અમારાથી ધંધો થાય નકે ધંધો ન થાય.
As the sun evaporates the stagnant water, salinity in the salt pan starts rising. The farmer regulates the flow from one pan to the next in the interconnected network. Monitoring salinity and crystal formation is crucial. Salt farming is hard. The bed of salt has to be continuously raked with this wooden tool, the dantaru.
પછી માં દરરોજ દંતારા એકવાર આમ ખીંચ્યો હોય તો બીજો વારો આવે જેમ આડો ખીંચીએ પછી ત્રીજો વારો આવે આમ ત્રિકોણો ખીંચીએ 4 થી 4.5 મહિના કે 5 મહિના જેવા આ દંતારા ખીંચવા.
Without raking, the salt will harden into a slab, ruining the crop. The day temperature soars to 50 degrees Celsius here. Under the scorching sun, the farmers have to keep working. The water salty and hot. The crystals sharp.
વાટિયા પડી જાય કે ઓલે ટાંક્યું પડી જાય અંદર તરિયામાં ટાંક્યું પડે અંદર લોહીના ટીપા આવે ને એવી ટાંક્યું પડે કે આપણે હાલી ના એકવી અને ક્યારેક તાવે આવી જાય એના કારણે.
The glare from the shimmering salt and sand damages their eyes. Salt accumulates in their bodies, raises their blood pressure, stiffens their limbs, dehydrates their bodies. Fresh water, vegetables and milk are scarce here. Most Agariyas are undernourished, but they toil to make the salt for our kitchens. Their seasonal life has kept them away from education and development. Their work never stops. Water has to be pumped day and night to keep the cycle going. Each Agariya family is able to produce 600 to 700 tons of salt each season. If the salt is of good quality, it sells at 240 rupees a ton. For a lower grade, it is even less. While the Agariyas labor to grow salt in their farms in the harsh terrain of the Rann, nearly 200 kilometers away, a body of multidisciplinary scientists work in their laboratories in Bhavnagar. At the soil testing laboratory, this team of engineers is working on salt pan design and durability. They analyze soil to test compaction, particle size, composition, and salinity. Their work is focused on solving problems and offering solutions.
फर्स्ट टाइम जब हमने उनका विजिट किया, दे वर यूजिंग वेरी ट्रेडिशनल सॉल्ट प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस और एक ही पॉन्ड में उनका नमक बनता था. उसके कारण उनके नमक को वाइटनेस नहीं मिलता था, उनको वैल्यू नहीं मिलता था, तो उनका नमक बिकता भी नहीं था.
Every aspect of salt production is analyzed scientifically. The goal is to improve quality, increase production, and reduce cost of production.
एवरी ईयर आफ्टर मॉनसून उनका जो सॉल्ट वर्क है वो कम्प्लीटली वॉश आउट होता है। तो आई हैव सजेस्टेड देम कि आप ऐसा सॉइल का मटेरियल यूज़ करिए जिससे वंस यू हैव कंस्ट्रक्टेड तो आपका वो एवरी टाइम वॉश आउट नहीं होगा और आपको रिकरिंग कॉस्ट कम होगा।
The institute has set up model salt pans in Bhavnagar itself, experiment sites where innovations are tested and technology is born.
बेसिकली जो नमक उत्पादन की प्रक्रिया है वो मैन्युअली करते हैं लोग, उसमें बहुत सारी हार्डशिप्स हैं और उसमें क्या है उनका एफिशिएंसी भी कम होता है और हेल्थ इश्यूज भी बहुत आते हैं। तो हमने सोचा कि क्यों ना इनका टाइम सेव किया जाए, क्वालिटी बढ़ाई जाए थ्रू मैकेनिकल इंटरवेंशन एंड साइंटिफिक इंटरवेंशन।
Reducing drudgery and increasing efficiency is the goal. Several small-scale harvesters, tillers, diggers, levelers, and washeries have been developed for use by small farmers in their salt works.
जब साल्ट हार्वेस्ट करते हैं तो ये इम्प्योरिटीज़ को रिमूव करने के लिए इसे पोस्ट हार्वेस्टिंग क्वालिटी इम्प्रूव बोल सकते हैं हम लोग। तो इंस्टीट्यूट ने छोटा छोटा इक्विपमेंट्स बनाया है ताकि वो छोटा फील्ड में उपयोग हो सके।
This scrapper cum loader is a unique innovation. A simple contraption is able to stack and load half a ton of salt in a matter of minutes. A task that would require one person to toil all day.
કે મેં આવું પહેલી વખત જોયું કે આ બધું મને એમ થઈ ગયું ઓહો આવું અમે ક્યારે કરી શકશું। અમે તો મીઠું બનાવીને તો હવે બાપ દાદા વહી ગયા પણ અમે તો આવા અને ભાવનગર જઈને મેં બહુ આ પાણી બધું સાહેબે શીખવાડ્યું, મને બહુ માહિતી મળી।
जिस टाइम पे हार्वेस्टिंग करते हैं उस टाइम पे अभी ये जो डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन हो ना हार्वेस्टिंग वाला वो उस टाइम पे तो जरूरी पहनना है क्योंकि वो करते तो पूरा सन का रिफ्लेक्शन आईज में आते हैं, आपका स्किन को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए आईज को।
These model salt works serve as training locations for agarias.
तो आप है ना दोनों पहले इसको लेके जाओ और ये पानी कैसे लिया जाता है सैंपल।
The salinity measure, called degree by the agarias, is a useful tool. Sodium chloride crystallizes best between 25 to 28.5 units of salinity.
25 નું પાણી હોય ને પછીનું પાણી 25 ને 25 હાડી 25 26 પછીનું ક્યારામાં પાણી મીઠું મેકવાનું આપણે।
Scientists have knowledge, tools, skills, and techniques. The salt farmers have years of experience and know-how, but they have problems too. A two-way partnership is the need.
People and technology, not the technology and the people. The first step is he has to talk to the people. Where I'm going to work, who are the people, who will be my interface. The first thing is only people. Then the technology comes in.
When scientists and technicians, laboratories and equipment move to remote farms and people, change begins.
સાહેબે મને શીખવાડ્યું ડિગ્રી કેટલી ડિગ્રી જવા દેવાનું, પછી મેં અહીંયાથી ચાલુ કર્યું કે આટલી ડિગ્રી જવા દઉં, ત્યારથી મારું મીઠું થોડુંક લાઇટિંગમાં આવ્યું, સફેદ થયું એમ। અને મેં સાહેબને અહીંયા પ્રશ્ન કર્યો હતો કે સાહેબ મારે ખેરીનો બહુ પ્રોબ્લેમ છે, તો સાહેબે મને શીખવાડ્યું હતું કે ખેરીનો પ્રશ્ન નહીં આવે।
The mobile laboratories attract the agarias. They are keen to hand over their samples for testing and seek solutions to their problems.
तो हम लोग कहीं भी जाएंगे फील्ड में तो वहीं पे जाके उसको बता सकते हैं कि आपकी क्वालिटी कैसी है, मतलब आपको कब चार्ज करना है, डिस्चार्ज करना है। लोग खुश होते हैं उसको कहीं भेजना पड़ता था सैंपल, उससे रिपोर्ट आने में देर लगती थी। वो बहुत कीन होते हैं सीखने के लिए, तो उसको मतलब आप जो सिखाते हो वो सीख जाते हैं तुरंत, लेकिन कोई चाहिए उसको सिखाने वाला।
મીઠામાં સુધી એમ ખબર પડે એમ કે આને કાવી રીતે હાંકો તો ફાયદો થાય ને આવી રીતે કરો તો સારું થાય. કેલ્શિયમ કડક પાણી હાંકો તો ઓછું આવે કેલ્શિયમ ને એવું બધું જાણવા મળ્યું.
એટલે તો આવક વધી ને તમારી સોલાર પંપ આવવાથી.
One of the biggest positives has been the switch to solar energy. Agarias need to pump the underground brine round the clock. Diesel is a major expense.
हमें पहले रात में डीजल बांधने पड़ते हैं, दिन में डीजल बांधने पड़ते हैं। अभी दिन में नहीं बांधने पड़ते, रात पे बांधने पड़ते हैं। सोलर से फायदा हुआ है।
સોલર આવ્યો ચાંપ જ દાબવાની. અત્યારે ભાઈઓ ઘરે હોય ન હોય.
Every salt work would guzzle nearly 1,200 litres of diesel each season. Solar technology has reduced that expense by half.
જેટલું આપણી મરજી પડે ને એટલું મીઠું પકવીશ. પહેલાં તો શેઠીને કહી દે કે બંધ કર દો તો ઓછું મીઠું પાકે.
The debt trap is being broken. Expenses are down. Production is higher. Like salt in the sea, sunlight is also inexhaustible.
मार्च के बाद भी वो अप्रैल मई 15 तक वो कंटिन्यू चलाते हैं, तो एक मेंबर्स को सोलर की वजह से 100 टन से 150 टन प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा है.
हम फील्ड में जाके हमारे साइंटिस्ट और टीम सीखती भी है, हम इनको सिखाते भी हैं.
It is a give and take of knowledge, the merging of tradition and technology. Center stage is salt. Our body can neither produce sodium nor chloride, but both are vital. Together they control the amount of fluid in our body, help oxygen and nutrients move into cells, maintain blood pressure and even enable transmission of nerve impulses. We cannot live without salt. This made salt the perfect vehicle to add iodine to counter the widespread iodine deficiency in the Indian population. Addition of iodine to salt has been a major success story. Could the same not be done to counter iron deficiency, anemia? The National Family Health Survey revealed some alarming figures for anemia. 70 to 80% children, 70% of pregnant women, and 24% adult men are anemic. Could iron not be added to salt along with iodine? Could double fortified salt not be the perfect solution?
Nothing can be better carrier than salt. The double fortified salt developed from this lab is such a wonderful product.
The goal was clear. Develop an improved, cost-effective process for double fortification to ensure that smell, taste and color of the salt remain the same over time. But it was not simple to bring iron and iodine together in salt. One likes acid, the other alkalinity. And when they react, iodine is lost and the salt gets discolored. It even gets an unpleasant smell and taste. It seemed impossible.
सोचा था कि ये प्रोजेक्ट ही छोड़ दे या डिसकंटिन्यू करें, क्योंकि बहुत हमने काम किया, करीब 7-8 साल काम किया. इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्टेबिलिटी हम सक्सेस नहीं हो रहे थे.
The path to discovery is a tricky slope. But things fell into place. An innovative idea to bring them together in salt but keep them away from each other. This addition was done at a molecular level.
And the salt that we have developed, when you take the salt, it gives you the bioavailability. It doesn't change the color, texture or aroma or the taste when it is used in the Indianized way of cooking.
Introducing an innovation in food is complex. The salt fortified with iron and iodine is being tested for shelf life. Subjected to Indian cooking at high temperature, boiled, simmered, tempered, its interactions with vegetables, pulses, and meats being tested. Rigorous testing, toxicity studies, multiple layers of scrutiny. First on animals and then trials in humans. The Government Medical College, Bhavnagar, is the partner in this trial. The results have been positive and impressive. The implications would be far-reaching.
नहीं, रिजल्ट तो बहुत एनकरेजिंग है. उसकी बायोअवेलेबिलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है एलिमेंट्स की. हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल में भी इम्प्रूवमेंट है, इवन आयोडीन स्टेटस में भी इम्प्रूवमेंट है और ये इम्पैक्ट दिखता है.
If salt could become the carrier for iodine as well as iron, the health of the masses could be very positively impacted.
It's going to revolutionize in terms of the human health conditions. Double fortified salt would only be the largest movers for reaching the bottom of the pyramid.
The birth of technology is driven by curiosity. Questions born in a mind prepared by years of assimilated knowledge. A team of scientists at the CSM-CRI has been studying coastal plants. How do these plants survive in salty environments? What happens to the sodium, chloride, potassium, magnesium, calcium that enters their bodies with the salty water? Salicornia caught their attention. A plant that grows like a weed on the coast. Salicornia retains the salt in its body. The process to extract salt from Salicornia has been established. A series of experiments, applied knowledge, trial and error led to the breakthrough. It has been a path-breaking discovery. It was the composition of this salt that intrigued the team. This vegetable salt is low in sodium, rich in potassium. It also has magnesium, calcium, and even iron, zinc, and copper. And that makes it truly beneficial. India grapples with hypertension. The first advice given to any high blood pressure patient is to lower the salt intake. This vegetable salt, Saloni, low in sodium, high in potassium, could be the answer. Saloni has the potential to impact health, even livelihood, ecology, and environment.
Salicornia can be cultivated in 1 hectare of land can produce 12 to 15 ton of biomass, and from 12 to 15 ton of biomass we can get approximately 4 ton of salt.
જો આ વનસ્પતિને તમે વ્યવસ્થિત ખેતીથી કરો તો તમે સારી એવી પણ આમાંથી કમાણી કરી શકો એમ છો.
Saline wastelands could be converted into Salicornia plantations. Meetings with villagers along the coastline show promise. For the first time in the world, salt has been produced from a vegetable source.
जब काम करते थे तब इतना उम्मीद नहीं रखी थी, तो बाद में सब साइंटिस्ट लोगों ने इतना मेहनत करके ये कार्य को यूएस पेटेंट तक पहुंचाया सफल करने में.
Patent, publish and prosper. Discovery does not come just like that. Okay, every discovery takes years. This institute's IP portfolio is one of the strongest in the world.
A center of excellence. It works not just on edible salt, but several marine chemicals needed by the industry. The fact that best illustrates CSM-CRI's scientific success is the quantum jump in salt production. India was producing just 20 to 30 lakh tons of salt at the time of partition. Today, the production is nearly 300 lakh tons, a 10-fold increase. India is the third largest producer of salt after China and the United States of America. We even export salt. Salt has been the symbol of loyalty, grit, honor, truth, and for India, freedom. The Dandi March led by Mahatma Gandhi in 1930 is considered as the satyagrah that shook the very core of the British. Mahatma Gandhi had said, "Next to air and water, salt is perhaps the greatest necessity of life."